What up, Dokkaners? The December Producers Letter video has been revealed. We know that the new celebration is going to be Daima. Daima, Super Saiyan, Goku Mini, and Daima Glorio. So today we're going to be covering everything that was mentioned in the video. I did do a reaction video essentially covering everything that they talked about, but there are a few details since then that I have noticed and I wanted to talk about in this video because I also wrote down everything very methodically on Twitter. So if you guys just want to check out my tweets, that's fine. But hopefully you guys stick around and watch this entire video. There will be a lot of overlap though. So let's just start by checking out the animations. I'm not going to play the full audio. I just want to hear if it is in fact still going to be sub. I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep the sub on global, and then eventually they'll work in the dub, because right now the dub is in the early episodes of Daima. So maybe it's because has the dub even hit the point where Gloria and Goku fight? I'm not sure. By the way, full spoilers for Daima. I have said this before in my Daima breakdown videos on streams. I will be talking full spoilers about Daima the day the episodes come out. So if you are not up to date with Daima, do please watch them and catch up. I understand that the dub is behind, but unfortunately, because of the nature of Dokkan, I have to keep up with it, so I follow the sub. So please understand that. But yeah, I will be talking spoilers in this video. Oh my god. All right, yeah. So it is still sub. All right. So yeah, I think after maybe a couple weeks, they would be eligible. I don't know when they'll give it to us, but they'll eventually give us the update. These animations are so pristine. If you don't watch Daima, that's fine. These animations are really good. The choreography in some of the battles have been really fun. And all this means to me in terms of hype is that the future of Dragon Ball is bright. If there is going to be a super duper, right? Whenever we get that, the animations that we're seeing in Daima are just the tip of the iceberg. And that's what makes me so happy. Dragon Ball has not been around for so long in terms of like new stuff. We see all these new anime with these crazy animations, but Dragon Ball is still kind of in its old format, right? But this is ushering a new era of animation. Look at this active skill. The frames on that, which is just absolute insanity. So that's another reason why Daima makes me so hype. It's not even about Daima being a self-contained story that some might not even consider like canon, even though it is. It's just that like what it means for the future of Dragon Ball is what I'm mainly concerned about. But anyway, no dub for either version. I just want another excuse though to check out Glorio. I love Shigaraki's voice. Man, that dude is a smooth talker. Orewa, Glorio. Okay. All for one. All right, so yeah, both animations are great. Here's my take on it. I know a lot of people were pretty upset, and I said this in my reaction video. A lot of people were upset about this. I see this as an absolute win. Most people who don't like Daima are going to skip because there is zero temptation to summon. The unfortunate reality is that those of you who like Daima are going to find yourself having a difficult time to skip this. I would also advise that you too skip. The reason why you should is because the 10th anniversary is coming up next. It is unfortunate that this is happening here, but it doesn't matter what the celebration was going to be. This was inevitable. This conundrum was going to be an issue for no matter who you were. Someone was going to be affected. The thing is though, for the January Dual Dokkan festivals, they come back in May. So if you can stomach waiting 5 months, which I think will be much easier considering all of the massive upgrades that we're going to be getting during the 10th anniversary, when these guys come back in May, you will be much better off because at that point you can pick these guys up with coins if you're saving for them. Also, you'll be coming off of the 10th anniversary where you have presumably spent a ton of stones to have the coins to actually pick up these guys. Also, this is the start of a Daima story, a Daima saga. There will be more characters that get Dokkan festivals, carnivals, free-to-play characters. The Daima saga category will eventually be a thing when we get like Daima Vegeta, Tamagami 1, 2, 3, Goma, you know, like all these different characters. And at that point, these characters will feel more naturally relevant. Right now, they might feel like OVA characters. They might feel like random one-off characters that mean nothing. I'll tell you one thing. The leader skill for Glorio is a little weird when you take the time to... Not weird, but it is kind of funny. He is a superclass character, but he leads demonic power at 200%. And it's funny because we just had the Slug Dokkan Festival, and demonic power does have a lot of villains, but it also has some heroes. Gohan. And actually, some of the... We'll just jump in and talk about Glorio. Glorio's links... There's a couple links here that kind of make me think of Piccolo and Gohan. Cold Judgment is Gohan. Brainiacs is Piccolo. Solid Support, I think, is also Piccolo. But like collectively as a whole, this link set is kind of weird. It has like elements of Majin here, Master of Magic. It's got, you know, Gohan, Piccolo. But when we get more Daima characters, these links will probably fit a little bit better together. So I wouldn't, again, another reason to not worry so much. Here's a little conspiracy for what I think could be a potential spoiler for Daima. I think most people at this point know that Glorio is a double agent. But the fact that they're giving him super here, I don't know if that necessarily means that after the reveal, he will remain a good guy. I think it's pretty easy to tell that he would be based on his character, how he's been so far. Maybe he's a double agent under duress or something like that. But the fact that he's a superclass character might mean that after the double cross, he might stay a good guy. Is that confirmation of it? I don't know. Just want to throw that out there. Both of these characters, the Goku, I'm not going to read their whole passives. We did that in the reaction. Both of these guys look really, really good. Especially what makes me love Glorio so much is this unprecedented 50% support for 3 turns in slot 3. Meaning, he will be a support character every time he shows up, even if he floats off. This is something that I have been wanting for support characters, and now we have our first look at a character that actually can do that. Supporting every time that they're there for 3 turns, and then it just lasts whenever they're not there. So it's like Glorio's been there all along. You can keep him on the main rotation, you could throw him off, but he will still have some influence on the rotation. He is going to be able to launch a ton of attacks. I think they said in the video like 5 or 6 super attacks potentially or something like that. I don't know if they said it, maybe someone in chat said it. But the ability to launch a bunch of attacks, it kind of gives me Gamma vibes with all of the stat boosting that he's going to be having combined with maybe like a Cold Judgment, Brainiacs. These are some nice links. His stats are going to be through the roof when he gets all of those attacks in there. Same goes for the Goku, only the difference is Goku is a little bit more capable of handling slot 1 responsibilities. This guy's like slot 1, slot 2, Glorio slot 2, slot 3. This guy can dodge, he's got some damage reduction, he's better off being in slot 2. So yeah, both of these characters have a lot of promise, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Definitely check out showcases. Don't just check out my showcase, check out other people's showcases. The more people you can, you know, watch run through with these characters, the more insight you get into the characters and how they work. It can help you make a decision if you really, really want to invest in them now, or would you rather wait for something down the road? Because I think it's better to wait. There will be more characters for Daima. There will be the 10th anniversary will have already rolled around, so by then we'll have the new, you know, we'll have established a new order of power in Dokkan, whatever the new 200% leads are. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the characters. Now let's talk about the real juice and potatoes. Nope, meat and potatoes. The real juicy stuff. Man, I always mix up these phrases. We have new passive detail format update stuff, and we have a new in-game UI update. So they talked about this in the video. So let's just go over these. Here is the screenshot. Let me pull it up over here. So right here. This is something that we have been wanting for so long because Dokkan Info and the Dokkan Wiki, the new Dokkan Wiki, already do this. They have put the passives in bullet point format. They said that they were doing this because they want to make the game easier to understand. With all of these, you know, novels that they have for passives now, it can be overwhelming. And also, frankly, there's a lot of ambiguity in how they're presenting the information. What I like about this is that this gives us a more absolute way to understand things while also simplifying and making the overall presentation a lot more streamlined. This is way better than having to read this. This is insanity. This is a college thesis. That's ridiculous. So the fact that they are doing it this way, I think, is a massive improvement. Though I will understand, it will be met with probably a lot of criticism at first, because this is going to be a very jarring transition for those of you who've been playing for a while to have to get used to this. But I think this is a worthwhile thing to get used to because it will just be easier to understand. So to go over everything, basic effects that have no activation conditions will be listed at the top, which is what we see in the video. Up here, attack and defense plus 200%, 77% chance of launching an additional super attack, 77% chance to dodge. For 1 turn from the character's entry turn, key plus 7 dodges enemies' attacks. They've separated it. This is just so much easier to now see. And then extra effects that have condition requirements will be listed down below. So you already have a sense of organization just within the passive itself, because this is how you should be reading the passive. You should be reading the stuff that's going to be there always first, and then read the things that are going to be either temporary or things that come in later on. Read them later on. So then what happens down here? The icon, exclamation mark, and 1 means that the effect can be used once in battle. So the example that they give is UI Goku. Exclamation point 1 revives with 77% HP recovered. How do you do that? When the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd if HP is 77% or less. Very simple, very easy to read. And then the icon clock and infinity means the effect will be permanently applied once activated. Now, I don't think that that changes the actual meaning of it, because when you permanently stack an attack, you are gaining that stat buff for 99 turns. I don't think that this is changing that. I think this is just simply making it easier to understand that it's an infinite stack. You will never be in a situation where you are practically going to 99 turns. That's just not going to happen unless you're doing some like extreme run. So here, for every attack evaded, chance to dodge plus 7% within the turn. That's within the turn, so that's why there's no infinite there. But you will permanently gain ki plus 2 up to 10. You will permanently gain defense by 30% up to 150. It works. Like I'm reading it and it's working. For a dummy like me, like this is easier to digest. And I think that's the important thing. When new players jump in for the 10th anniversary, they will see this and they will be fine with it. It's going to be the veteran Dokkaners that are going to have to adjust, but I think probably after like, I would say maybe a month less, I think everyone will be fine with this. I like it a lot. I think this is really, really good. And the best part is, no matter what, I think that this is going to remove all ambiguity. Sometimes the way that they phrase certain things, it's not always clear what it means. And sometimes I've had to ask Proton, hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? He has to go into the database and look and see exactly what it means. Now that they're spelling it out like this, this will make it easier to understand and make things more absolute. It will reduce the conversation in terms of, hey, it could mean this or it could mean that, because they have it written down in such a way where it's easier to understand. So I like it. Very, very good. And that's just the passive format update. They're going to have more updates besides the things that I talk about in this video. There's going to be more stuff coming for the 10th anniversary. This is just a few of the things that they're doing. So then they talk about the in-game UI update. So then they show us the animation changes like in the actual battle. So let me just go ahead and play this. So as you can see right here already, you can see at the bottom, the HP thing is right there. The next characters in your rotation are right there. Dokkan gauge right there. The versus screen here looks way more lifelike, in my opinion. And we saw that these three characters were on the next rotation, right? It shows right here that Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien are coming up next. Once we start the battle, we see Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien right there. And now it shows the next set of units that are going to be coming up. Instead of having to click to see who's coming up next, it tells you right there. It shows you the HP percentage number right there. I have all this stuff written down. So general adjustments to make the game easier to check information during battle. Overall visual upgrades. Next rotation lineup preview visible. Arrows indicating type advantage now displayed on boss icon next to corresponding unit. So this is not something that I picked up on during the actual live stream reaction. There we didn't see anything because it was AGL on AGL, that's type neutral. But in the next shot here, you see STR Goku and you see physical Vegeta. So he is weak to Goku, that's why it shows a down arrow. So you will do extra damage to him. He is weak to this Goku. This guy does type neutral. This guy is not fighting him, so you don't see it. But that's a great new upgrade. It's common sense for those of you who play, but for those new players who are going to be jumping in, this is an important thing for them to see, because maybe this isn't clear enough for them to understand. That's what I love about these updates. They are making the game more accessible for various levels of learning, comprehension, you know, any sort of dimension of players. They will be able to understand these things through a multitude of different ways. If there's anything else you guys noticed that I didn't, feel free to share. Let's go ahead and just play the whole thing through. Actually, I could put audio for this. Oh, yeah, you see that? Watch the sprite. It's not just a still sprite anymore. Watch this. Watch the Goku. Dude. Watch the Goku. Super Saiyan Goku. Now this is a new, like, dynamic animation sequence. As you can see on the rotations, we're full Cybermen on this rotation and on the next one. So this has nothing to do with the main rotation units. I think. Although this could just be like a beta. This could be just like a private server setup where they just manipulate it in such a way. I think what this is just one of the characters on the last turn maybe will do this as you're about to enter your new turn. But they're basically trying to make the battles feel more Dragon Ball-like. It's not just a simple, you know, use your attack, be done with it, but make the battle feel more immersive, make the battle feel more lively. New logo for KO. That looks awesome.
What are your thoughts?
Also, Ken was in a very good mood in this video, which I liked. So I wrote all this stuff down here. So arrows indicating type advantage now displayed on the icon, boss icon. HP bar shows percentage value. Before, you had to count the number of ticks the HP bar was below or above. So every tick was 10%. You'd have to count. Now it shows you the percentage. You don't have to worry about counting. New dynamic battle animations, character sprite, unique battle motions. This is something that they intend to apply for every character, I believe. So that is going to require a ton of upgrades. That is not something that's going to happen right away. They will be gradually implementing this over time. So they said that for the next celebration, I think it was for the 10th anniversary. These are for the 10th anniversary, by the way, not for the upcoming Daima celebration. But for the 10th anniversary, I think they're going to start by giving all featured characters the unique battle motions on those banners. And then they'll expand from there. I think eventually the goal is to have everyone get it, including like R units, N units, and all that stuff. But those will probably be at the bottom of the priority list. So don't expect like Bacterian or, you know, Pintar or Cyberman, Frieza Soldier. Those guys are not going to be getting it anytime soon. Or maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. And more updates coming during the 10th anniversary. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a ton more stuff coming up. And so, yeah, Dokkan is in a really good place. The game was dead for a little while, and it will still kind of be, depending on how engaged you are with this upcoming celebration. But when the 10th anniversary rolls around, it is going to rejuvenate the Dokkan player base. It is going to make the game, I think, a whole lot more immersive with all of these changes that they're making and more. This is all we have so far. And I think that this is an absolute win. Some people will disagree, which is totally fine. But I just think that if you like what's coming up for the celebration, you might summon. And if you don't like it, you skip it. If this was GT, some of you guys don't like GT. You wouldn't have summoned. Even if it was GT and everybody unanimously liked GT, Super Saiyan 4, like, I don't know, let's just say for argument's sake, it was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and, I don't know, Baby Grade 8 Vegeta, right? For whatever reason. It's those two characters. A lot of y'all weren't going to summon anyway because you don't have the means to summon for this and the 10th anniversary. So it's a skip. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully I covered everything. Let me see. I wrote some stuff down in my notes here. Summoner skip, Daima character category, yeah, Glorio, superclass. Hopefully we get a dub. Yep, covered everything. So if there's anything else that I missed, then I will update the pinned comment. But I'm gonna go now because I gotta go to sleep or I'm gonna get grounded. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about all of these changes that are coming to the game? Do you like the visual upgrades? Do you like the passive details upgrades? Do you think it's gonna take some time for you to get used to it, or is it gonna be an instant change? I think it kind of looks similar to Legends, right? Doesn't Legends kind of have a structure like that? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the animations. Anything else that I missed in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content of the future and click the notification bell so that you, the YouTube, know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and ours to Dokkan responsibly.